Anybody needs it? Okay, come fix it quickly. Yes, you got 5 minutes to fix it very quickly. Straighten it out. I don't want to deal with any untidiness.
So what is it? Mine's.
All right, take it back to your, or somewhere nearby so we're not crowding around here, but bring it back as soon as you can. I'm checking now, okay? So if you're okay, you're okay. Debbie, I'm looking at your stuff. What do you use, Debbie? Yeah, please. Okay, Tara, very good. Yes. How many points did I say?
5.
I don't think so. Be honest.
I think you said 3.
She said 2.
She said 2.
Thank you, Maria. I like your honest.
I was joking.
Maria, you're in.
100.
Catherine, Jevis, okay, plus 2. Okay. Miss Kelly, very good. Plus 2. Okay, put it at the right here. Yeah. I would,
You did one of our stapled properly.
you're Morgan, right? Yeah, so, let's see, take it out, yeah. I need your article, source article, as well as your homework. You have it. Today's the due date, yeah.
Okay.
So Steve Jackson, very good, plus 2, yeah. Miss 2, let's see, very good. Some of you go beyond, I'm gonna read the name of this really quickly. Where's my list? Okay, let's do this first, and then I'll read the name very quickly. Plus 2, Cheryl, very good. Oh, this one has a red note. See what the pink means. Pink means save the life or something. Is there a message?
No, it's just my name
Just
because
your name, okay.
it just has our last name on it.
All right. Very good. So, Catherine Smith plus 2. Okay, resting. Pink. Very good. Nice pink. Plus 2. Okay. Corinne. Very good. Yes. Adriana Smith. Okay. Very good. Steve. Aquarius. That's 2. This is the greatest record I have. See, this works. This incentive for oops. Okay, he's at the hospital, so he's forgiven. Let's see. How am I gonna do this one? Oh, I still got a few. This one has a problem here. So, question mark. Maria, very good. Plus 2. Paula, very good. Plus 2. You will need to supply me with that source article as soon as possible. Maybe after the class, yeah. Morgan, I think we talk, see me after the class, yeah. Ashraf, I think he's good. This is Xavier. Okay, very good. Okay, close it. This one, put it out here. Okay, these are the people I'm going to read your name who have less than 10%. And then I'm going to read some that I will not read out all, okay, but just kind of like a range so you got some idea. I'm doing it for a reason because by the time you get to that last paper, I think everybody should be very good. And I'm very excited and happy that most of you have it here. So you are striving hard to get that 2%, which is probably worth it. At this point, please, would you put away your cell phone? I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so I got the attendance and any classes around. I want to finish my class as well. Go. By the way, we have a scholarship for economics student. If you are a senior or junior, you're entitled to apply $250. Just there waiting for you to apply. Okay, $250 for 4 awards, so it's $1,000 from a very generous anonymous donor. So if you want to apply, I think your GPA has to be above 3.0. You would have to have taken 4 economic classes. So I don't know if you are in that category. If you are, you may want to talk to me. Oh yeah, where's my list? Okay. So as I said, I'm gonna, because I'm trying so much for everybody to try as much as possible to have less than 10%. Now I realize that some of you who have 10% or above, you're okay. Okay, and I would explain just a little bit. If they all appear in the citation references the area, then you are probably okay. So I'm waiting for that to happen. Okay, let's see. Okay, does anybody know where to stop? Yeah, picture. Discrimination. If you owe me something, absolutely, please talk to me after the class. Okay, I'm going to read the name of students who have less than 10% copy and pasting. I just want to acknowledge them. Okay, that's Awad. You don't have to raise your hand. I'm just reading your name quickly. Maria and Ashraf, Miss Bethel. You got 0%. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's very hard to achieve. Steve Jackson and Miss Kelly. Okay, these are the people who have less than 10% of copy and pasting. Miss Smith over there, Adriana, and Tara. Okay, and Miss Chavis. The one who submitted after recently, I don't know. I have to check, so be sure you stay with me after the class. I'm going to put question mark because I have not had a chance to check. Now, the next group of people I'm going to read are those people who are, well, actually, yeah. No, I don't think I'll read your name. You're above 10%, but you're okay. Okay, because now this would be in the range of 13% to even 29%. That's very high, but when I check, you're okay. But there are a couple of you who have 67 to 100%. And one of the reasons is, I'll explain why. It should not be, so I want to give you a chance to correct that, okay? If you're a couple of you who are in that category. If you're 67, I need to talk to you. So what happened was the person actually copy and paste that whole paper. Well, not whole paper, where you get your source. For example, you get it from a news article, the person copy and paste that whole thing at the end of your 2 or 3 page summary, and no wonder you get 100%, 67%. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to print it out like that because you're not supposed to alter the content or copy it. So I just want to let you know, if that's your case, please talk to me after the class. It's only one. The other one is not here because of some situation. So you will know who you are once I identify you. Okay, so if you think you're in that category, please see me after the class. Okay, fair enough. If you happen to not know any, and I'm sure this is unintentional, I don't think this is intentionally. If you copy and paste that whole source article when you submit it electronically to the end of your article, please see me after the class. I'll give you a chance to correct that. Okay, so very good, and we're going to go on and finish up that chapter, which is chapter 7. Is that right? Yeah, Monopoly. So, yeah, and then we have our spring break. So this will be our last class before spring break, and then of course I'll grade it, and your midterm grade should appear somewhere Monday, I think. So check in. So everything that's due, I have to have it today, absolutely. because after that, you get zero because whatever that we have talked about and agreed on. Okay, let's see what it is. So this is the people who were not here. It is. What is this? Oh, Jackson, yeah. Come get it. This is your article in-class exercise from the other day. Okay, so I want to go on and talk about monopoly. And I think there was one diagram that I wanted to go over very quickly, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. So let's just go through it now. So in the case of monopoly, we also have profit. Okay, and again, once again, profit is defined as total revenue minus total cost. So total revenue is P times Q. Let's redo this because you have seen this at least 2 times. I'm doing it for the 3rd time now. Minus average total cost times quantity. Okay, collect the term together, P minus ATC times Q. This is your unit profit. So in the case of monopoly, I don't think I'll draw the graph because I'll just show you here. You should have this diagram. Could somebody find it in your book? Tell me what page this is on.
207.
Yes,
207.
207. Thank you so much. See how much time I save by asking you if you keep up with it, it helps, yeah. Okay, there are 2 diagrams here. So once again, I want you to pay attention that, now if you missed the last class, of course, you are a little bit like, what's going on? You have to catch up on your own, so, because, in order for you to be able to follow, you should read up before today's class, ideally. Okay, let's look at the 2 graphs here. On the left-hand side, we have, it's actually the same. But what I want to point out is we're looking at monopoly situation where demand curve is, once again, downward sloping, okay? And then you got a marginal revenue, which has twice the slope of the demand curve. We talked about it last time. And you also know that at this point here, if this is 40, this will be 20. Very good. Half of that. This is 100, this will be 50. Where the horizontal intercept for the MR cuts that horizontal line is exactly half the distance. 100, so half the distance is half of that. That's 50 right there. Okay, what about the red line, marginal cost? Okay, now in the case of marginal cost, we assume this to be constant, but it does not need to be so. It could be upward sloping, it could be a curve, okay? In this case, we just assume it to be horizontal line. Now, let's see if y'all remember. I would like for you to tell me, if you could go back to your notes, because this helps a lot. How does monopoly maximize profit? What criterion do they use? Look at your note, tell me, because that's very, very important. Okay, if you got the answer, raise your hand quickly, tell me right away. You have it? You smile like yes, you have it. No? Okay.
Price is greater than the.
Okay, very good. Price is greater than marginal cost, but before that, how do you decide the profit maximizing criterion? I'm looking for equation with something on the left, something on the right. Miss Smith, yes?
By getting rid of dead weight loss.
No. How do you decide what is a criterion for profit maximizing quantity? Something equals something, come on. Starts with M. Yes?
P equals MC.
No, that's for perfect competition. Thanks for trying. Another one, come on. Yes, thank you, Morgan. MI equals to MC is profit maximizing quantity for all market structure. And because, Ms. Smith, coming back to you, because in the case of perfect competition, your price is also your marginal revenue. So therefore, we say P equals MC for perfect competition. This is always true. Okay, so that's the first thing. And then let's see where it intersects. MR cuts MC right there at that point intersection. So we draw a line up. That's your price line. So that's what you're going to see. The price line goes up, touching the green line. And that's the price charged by the monopoly. So that's the first step to decide where the monopoly price is. You go for that MI equals to MC, and then you say, aha, right here, And then you draw a line up touching the price line because demand curve is also the price line of the monopoly. Got it? So draw across the price is 10 cents. Don't worry about this other thing. Just go for the basics. So same thing here. Where MR cuts MC, right? They draw the line up, all the way up, touching that green line or the demand curve of the price, and draw across. It's also 10 cents. Now, I drew additional things here. That is your average total cost, which is this guy right here. Okay? Now, because if you look at this last line here, the distance between price and ATC is your unit profit, and then you multiply by quantity. Now, let me ask you this. So your average total cost is how much on average the total cost is? You take total cost divided by Q. Okay, so your price minus ATC is a unit profit. It's the vertical distance between price and ATC, or your average total cost, evaluated at which point? Your profit maximizing quantity. That means right here, 20, 20. So I draw an ATC curve. As you can see, there are two ATC curves. One incurred the loss, one incurred the profit. The one on the left is the one that incurred loss. How do you know? What about, okay, the way I describe it is look at the position of the ATC. How do you describe it? Half the bowl, right? Well, you know, everybody drinks soup, so a bowl, you cut it into half. So this is the one half of the bowl, the other side, never mind. We only got one half of it. Okay, so what the position of it is, the way I describe it, let's see. So this is like your house. This is, yeah, I guess you could say that. This is on the porch. Okay, this is outside the porch, you know, outside the house. So ATC is basically above the price line, evaluated at that 20. So therefore, your unit profit is, ATC is right here, 12 cents, which is higher. Okay, your price is 10 cents. So you would have a negative value right here, right? So right here, your price is 10 cents. Your ATC is how much? 12 cents. So take out your calculator. The difference between the two will be, tell me if you know. Yeah, that should be straightforward. Come on, 10 cents minus 12 cents is 2 cents. 2 cents times 20 million. So this is, oh, it's not 2 cents, excuse me, is it? Oh, yeah, it is 2 cents. Oh. Multiplied by, well, in this case, it's negative, right? Because multiplied by what? Multiplied by 20. You know that's million. So what do you have? Give me the calculation. This is 20 million. Well, come on. Use your calculator, tell me what's that amount. Okay, you don't like that. I'll give you all the zero.
It's 400,000.
That's 20 millions right there.
Negative 400,000.
Very good, thank you. And it is negative. Okay? It is negative because price is below ATC. It costs more. Yeah. So that rectangle right there is your area of in which you calculate the loss. Okay, and this is a quantity. So, and the vertical distance is a unit profit. And again, you know, most of you know how to do the area of the rectangle. Width times length, right? So your width is 2 cents. In fact, negative 2 cents. And your width is, your length is 20. And because it's 20 million, so, you know, I write out all the zero for you. So therefore, 20%, 2% of, 2% of that original 20 million is 400,000. If you use your calculator, you get the answer. Okay, this one is interesting. This ATC happens to intersect inside the house or on the porch. Okay, right there. Maybe we should say inside the house, outside the house. That's a little bit clearer. But anyway, so it cuts across like that. See, you don't waver. Your 20 keep going up because MR cuts MC right there. You go up, you say, oh, yeah, I'm going to put Lion and I pass my grandmother's house. So your grandmother's house is the ATC. You think about it like that, right? So on the way to, well, does that make sense? Yeah, you're going to Foot Lion, and that's your grandmother's house. So you pass right there. So that unit profit there is now higher because the price is 10 cents. But your ATC is 8 cents. So your unit profit is now 2 cents. Positive or negative? Oh, please, yeah, positive. This is a happy face, so multiply by 20. So you get the same answer, except now, of course, you have this, yeah. And you know how to do this, so I'm not sure if I need to do this, but basically the same thing, like that. So now you have positive, and you got positive. So this is profit, and this is smiling face. The other one was a sad face because you were incurring loss. I know when you see graph like that, it's like, this really throws me off. It's in your book, so I thought I should quickly explain it, yeah. Your average total cost shaped like that because of what we talked about last time, economies of scale. As you produce more units, your average total cost comes down. Remember I talked about Amazon.com? When they started business, they incurred some loss, and then slowly over time, they reap profit over time. Make sense? You don't know yet, but someday you're gonna experience that. That will be a very exciting journey when you start your own business some long day later. When you get your degree. Some of you might be doing that already. So next thing I want to talk about is, okay, so monopoly, we talked about it. It incurs some sort of deadweight loss because of inefficiency. And inefficiency happened because, Irasema, you said, monopoly charges a price above marginal cost. That markup above marginal cost is how you measure the market power. That's one of the strategy of monopoly. Remember, they charge higher price and perfect competition, and they say, we are going to restrict output. We're not going to give them the maximum number. Whereas the perfect competition, you get 12. Remember, monopoly, we say, we're only going to give you 8 because we're stingy. Oh, no, not because that's a downward sloping demand curve. They charge a higher price. In order to charge a higher price, you have to drop the number of quantity you sell because of the demand curve. Okay, let's talk about price discrimination. Now, this is a very hot topic for the topic that students pick at the end of the semester because that's all over the place. I may have seen somebody, did anybody do airlines price discrimination? Not yet. Okay, that's a very popular one for students to do. And there are a lot of all sorts of price discrimination going on today in the world. I'll give you some example. You might want to find some and write a paper about it for your analysis paper towards the end of the semester. Okay, price discrimination, what is it? This is a practice of charging different buyers different prices for the same good or service. We get an example like that. If you go to a movie, you get senior citizen discount. Please don't disguise. Put on your white wig, and beard and say, oh yeah, I'm a senior citizen. Some places, they check your ID. In Singapore, they're so strict, to get it. They don't take your word for it, look at it and say, oh yeah, you're over 65? Let me see your ID. In the US, people don't do that because it's kind of like offensive to ask, I mean, you just take your word for it, I'm over 65. Okay, you got senior citizen discount. So, and if you are just the way you are, you walk in, you pay the highest price. Do they give student discount nowadays? Mm-hmm. The movie? They do. Mm-hmm. How much?
$10.
10%.
$10 instead of 18. Ooh, that's a big saving. How much is a movie? Well, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's about 10. Because I usually go Sunday afternoon,
Depends on when
Sunday
you go.
evening, which is the expensive one. Yeah, what?
It just depends on when you go.
Where I go. Okay. I think typically I pay about 10. Because I like to go Sunday night, where there's no teenagers, you know. You know, everybody's asleep, so you go Sunday night, yeah. Saturday night is not a good day. So, yeah, they charge different prices, right? Matinee, like, okay, daytime. Daytime is less expensive, isn't it? Versus if you go after dark, because, you know, all the teenagers would go daytime because they want to save the money. So, okay, so that's how they do price discrimination. It's the same movie, but you're paying different prices because you get discount. If you go to Disney World, how many of you been? Or Disney, what's the other one? Disney World is in Florida.
Disneyland.
The other one is in California. Okay, what do they call it? Disney Park.
Disneyland.
Oh, Disneyland, yeah. Don't have that, of course. Mickey Mouse, yeah. Any one of you have a picture of Mickey Mouse? Oh, that's, yeah, one of my son did too. Goofy. Yeah, this was so much fun. But anyway, yeah, they also charge a price like that. They say, oh yeah, if you have a season ticket, then you know you get discount. And sometimes they say you could buy a 3-day pass. See, those people are really trying to get you, you know. You can finish all of the park everything you want to see, you know, in one day. So buy 3-day pass. And if you go to Disney World, okay, that's one in Florida, right? Orlando, yeah. And they also have this thing called Epcot Center. I think they have. I was there a long time ago. I didn't finish everything. I think I've seen all the Disney World, and then by the time I get to Epcot Center, I say, whoa! That's another day, and I didn't know. I only buy a 1-day pass, you know, so you have to quickly rush through everything, and there's no way. So maybe I'll go back someday. But anyway, so that's how they do it, okay? Super Saver discount on air travel. Oh yeah, that's all over the place. Do you realize that, like, just on the plane alone, if you look out there, see everybody sitting out there, maybe like, 50 to 100 passengers for a smaller aircraft? You know how many prices have been charged? Probably easily 25 different prices. Does that surprise you? No. How did they do price discrimination? The seats. Okay, they always say this is a premium or comfort seat. You got more legroom, so you got to pay $20 more. And then they also discriminate you, of course, on first class, business class, and yeah, the economy. Now, for the domestic air travel, there's not much difference, you know, like business and what's the first class versus the economy. But for international travel, yes, the business class and the economy class, big difference. You get your own compartment where you can lay down for business class, you know, and yeah, you got that privacy right there. You pay a lot more, yes. So to discriminate you on the classes, what else? The lake rooms, okay, the amount of lake rooms you got, you know, more lake rooms, you pay more. And nowadays they charge you even more. For what else? To use Wi-Fi on flight? And some other thing, if you want to, this thing about if you want to get on board, first, you pay a premium. Who wants to do that? There are people who want to do that. You know why? They all have this luggage. They have to put it on top of the cabin. So they want to be there first because, you know, if you're the last one to get in, it's like, what happened? Woo, they all filled up. So there's no room, right? So they want to be the first one to get in. And you pay a price. There's a premium. Well, it's not much, but. So now they know what customers are thinking. The price discriminate that way. And also, like, when you buy the ticket. So if you buy the ticket the day before you travel, very expensive. This does not apply so much today as I'm standing here talking to you because guess what? Gas prices are coming down, right? So if you look at I just bought my son an air ticket from JFK to Raleigh. $48, one way. I'm serious. I bought it like maybe a month ago, yeah, so that's it, I mean, that's so cheap, cheaper than if you were to drive, yeah. Anyway, when I travel, I never have anything put in the cabin. I just walk in like this, have my little booth, that's it. Because I don't want to have all those, when I travel to other countries for 5 weeks, you know what I got? I got a small cabin luggage, I checked in, that's it. People look at it and say, how can you do that? I say, well, yeah, you cut down, you streamline, Because if you go to other countries that they have very difficult border situations, you want to be able to drag that luggage and not like having this huge one, like nobody could help you. So I'm ready, if I have to chuck my luggage, so be it. So you have to travel like that, That course, I got something with you, with your credit card, everything, yeah. They tell you where to put all your money all over your body, So if you lose something, you got something else. I don't know why we talk about that. So let's get back to this. Rebate coupons on retail merchandise. Yeah, how many times you get rebate coupons from Macy, from Bell? Yes, 25%. Have you all heard this word like early birds discount? You think they really get early birds? Yeah, they do. You know what time is their early birds?
Maybe like 5 or 6.
It's like when it
sometimes.
first opened.
Like 6 o'clock.
Well, no, until when?
Like
Early
10.
birds. Yeah, sometime till 10 and sometime till 1 p.m. I never make it. When I get there, it's usually like, it's just very close to 1 p.m. And then you're waiting, especially Black Friday. Some of you shop on Black Friday, but I know Belk always do this. They know people were rushing, everything. They always announce at 1 p.m. And I knew their strategies over the year. At 1 p.m. they will announce like, don't worry, we're gonna extend the early birds discount to 2 p.m. And then you hear all the shoppers like, yay! So now you know their strategy, we don't have to rush, right? And so I get there at 1 p.m. waiting for them to make their big announcement. Anyway, I shouldn't tell you about all that, but okay, so rebate coupons on retail merchandise. So this is how it works. If you don't offer discount, you don't offer early, but there's some people who just absolutely will not go. They just stay home and say, what for? But when you have this early birds and all that, you draw out those people, you get them out of the bed. Get into the car, drive to the mall and start shopping. There they got you. So that's their strategy. Look, they have more trade. Well, this is the airline's thing. Would it bother you to hear how much I pay for the flight? This is a student sitting beside a businessman, and so that's an example of the price discrimination. Here it is. The benefits of the price discrimination is the number of trades increase. You draw out people who normally would not get there, but now they're there because of that incentive. Early birds discount. 25%, 50%. It brings the output closer to the socially efficient level. Yeah. Now remember, with monopoly, they only produce 8 units. In the example we look at, whereas with perfect competition, you have 12 units. In the previous example we look at in the last class. So what this is trying to do is say, get closer to that socially efficient level. Get more people out. You sell more units, so you reduce that bad triangle. Yes. If you remember, let's go back to that diagram. It's so exciting talking about it. Yeah. Yeah, see this? So that's 12 units for the socially efficient solution when you maximize the total economic surplus under perfect competition. The monopoly is right here, 8. This is a lousy 8. So that bad triangle known as dead weight loss is, because we got monopoly. Because we charge a price above MC or MR right there. So now when you have price discrimination, you draw more people out, so you sell more units. So this 8 is going to move getting closer to that 12. So as you get closer, can you see that triangle is getting bigger or smaller? Come on. Smaller. Smaller until, maybe you get to 12, you totally eliminate that dead weight loss. So that's the spirit behind it. So let's get back to this price discrimination and see why it is so important. And then we're gonna look at some example. Yeah, okay. There. Reduce the debt wage loss, increase total economic surplus. So that's the idea behind it. So next you want to look at example. Please, for this example, please take note and refer to your textbook, page 211. If you have your book with you, please refer to it, because we have to keep going back, okay? And please pay attention because, and take notes if you could, because this will help you, yeah. Okay, if you don't have paper, you want to take notes, you please ask other people for paper. If I have, I will give it to you, but I don't have any, sorry. Okay, so let's look at this. This is a lady, her name is Carla. She's trying to practice price discrimination. So we're gonna look at a few scenarios to see, okay, so what is the profit if you do it this way, and how many quantities do you give, and what price do you charge? So she has this situation. This is her demand curve. The student A, B, C, all the way to H, count is at about 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 students, A all the way to H. And this is a reservation price in which you're willing to pay Miss Carla a price to edit the paper. Okay, so student A is willing to pay 40 all the way down to 26. So we rank them according to who is willing to pay the highest reservation price on and on. I bet the poor student would want to pay a higher price. Well, if you're, no, never mind, don't get into that. So here's the total revenue. Let's look at how we calculate the total revenue. We calculate the total revenue by taking P times Q, correct, everybody? But watch very carefully how we calculate it. So if Carla wanted to serve one student, she charged $40, she get one student. That's it. But if she charged $38, everybody, she would get 2 students. Correct? Because, yeah, the other student would say, oh, yeah, sure. But not this one. C would say, no. So she get 2, and she charged 38. So 38 times 2, everybody, use your calculator to check, you get 76. Now, here, she would charge 36. Because 36 times 3, you get 108. And you get 3 students. If you charge 36, you get A, B, C. Down here, 34, you get A, B, C, D. If you charge 34, you get all 4 students, A, B, C, D, on top. So therefore, times 4, you get 136. Everybody with me so far? Okay, very good. Now let's calculate marginal revenue. Again, the equation say marginal revenue is the total revenue of the current unit minus the total revenue from the previous unit. So we get 40 by taking 40 minus 0. We take 36 by taking, somebody help me out? 76 minus 40, okay? We get 32 by taking 108 minus 76 to get all that. Okay, everybody okay? Very good. So let's look at the next thing. How many manuscripts should Carla edit? The opportunity cost is $29. That's how much he would charge, okay? Well, the marginal cost, I should say. So that opportunity cost is the same marginal cost. Total revenue is P times Q for 4 paper. You already saw that, 4 times 34. You have to charge 34, 136. Okay, marginal revenue, we talk about it, and then we say if your marginal revenue is greater than the marginal cost and you increase the output. Okay, let's go back to this. So, if her marginal cost is $29, she could serve, because we use that same criterion, MR greater than MC. So this will meet the criterion. 40, 36, 32, and not this one, correct? Let me write it down. MC, assume, and please take note. I'm going to do a table, so the table will help you to understand. MC is $29. So you would use this criterion. MR is greater or equal to MC. So since your MC is 29, this will meet the criteria. The first one, second one, and third one will get served. But not the number 4, student D, because that violates that principle. Okay, because an MC becomes greater than MR. So that's what it means here. Let's go back there to that PowerPoint slide. Okay, if MR is greater than MC, you keep increasing until you violate that principle. So that will be 3 students. So Carla will edit 3 papers, and that's called single price monopoly. Okay, that's our scenario 1. We want to call it single price monopoly. And we're going to look at a few variables here. Yeah. Okay, the variables we want to look at is number 1, quantity, 3 papers. Number 2, well, the price is the same. Single price monopoly. Okay, we want to look at the profit. Yes. We don't have so many columns, but let's leave that one alone. I have a feeling there's one more coming. Okay, so let's leave it there. And single price monopoly, you would edit 3 papers because you charge according to MR equals to MC. In fact, MR greater than MC. So in that case, you only serve 3 students. So let's calculate the profit. You take the profit by total revenue minus total cost. The total revenue is 108. How do we get that? Go back to our table. We get 108 because, right there, okay? 3 students, ABC, so 36 times 3, you get 108. That is the total revenue, not the total cost. Okay? So what about total cost? Total cost is, once again, you would take your marginal cost, which is $29 times 6. Whoa, shoot, how did I get there? Times 3, yeah. Yeah. Okay, you get that you could write it out 3 times 29. That's total cost is 87. So total revenue, we've got it from that table previously. Everybody with me? So take 108 minus 87, we got $21 per week. Okay, so we're gonna write that down. Do your table so you understand this a little bit better. So economic profit is take total revenue minus total cost. Straightforward. 108 minus 87, you get 21. What about accounting profit? Well, yeah. Actually, I don't mean to put that one there. So let's not worry about that because everything we talk about is economic profit. I mean, let's grab that line out. Okay, so we got one solution, and then next scenario we want to do is socially efficient, or rather perfect competition. Okay, remember what Kelly say? Not Kelly, Miss Smith. Adriana, a while ago you said something that was good. Not applying, but so perfect competition, when you want to maximize profit, the criterion for profit maximizing quantity is at. See if you could repeat what you said.
The first time I said eliminate the dead weight loss, and then the second time I said P equals MC.
P equals to MC. Very good. Okay, this is the case where you charge P equals to MC. This is when you charge MR greater than or less equal to MC. Okay, the second case we look at now. Perfect competition. So what is a socially efficient number of people to edit? And in order to do this one, you have to charge the same price for everybody because you have perfect competition. Opportunity cost is still same. Okay, please don't mix up the two. Opportunity cost is the cost, your marginal cost. It's not the same as your price. Okay? So in this case, you have to charge the same price. So reservation price has to be greater than opportunity cost for student A to F. Let's go back to that table. We have to keep going back. If you have it, have your fingers ready at page 211. At some point, I may not be able to go back, but I'll just ask you to look at that table. So bring your book to the class. It really would help. Okay, there it is. So we got this. And we said we're going to charge the same price. And this price is going to be, because you charge according to MC. So therefore, you charge $29. Aha. So let's see what happens if you charge $29. Where is it? Ooh, oh yeah. So there it is.
You look at this reservation price, you say, yeah, this guy will buy, this guy will buy. How about this one? It's $29. Yeah, this one will. You could charge that one $29 and still get the business from student F, correct? What about this one? This one say, no way, Jose. I don't know. Because, yeah, the reservation price is 28, and you're charging 29, say, no way. So in that case, you get how many students? A, B, C, D, E, F. Get 6. Very good. Let's calculate the profit. You have to stay with me to understand the scenario. Yeah, so here it is. The total revenue is 6 times 30, 180. Why 6 times 30? I hate to flip back again, so let's just look at your diagram in your book 7.5. You look at F, right? The number 6 students, so that's 30. 30 times 6 is 180. That's how you get your total revenue. With me? Okay, total cost is still the same, $29 times, we now have 6 students, so 6 times 29, 174. Economic profit is the difference between the two,
6.
which is only $6. Oh man, look at that. Only $6. That tells you something. Hey, single monopoly do better. That's not the end. We say now let's practice price discrimination. That's a power two's coming. If Carla can price discriminate, how many people should she add it? Assuming that he can charge each student the reservation price. In the real world, that's not so possible. You see what? I could practice the same thing. When you walk into the class, I would put a booth here, right here. I say, okay, today I'm gonna charge. As you walk in, I'm gonna ask you, you could whisper in my ear, how much is a reservation price you're willing to pay to come into today's class? Today will be very high because all the papers are due. Other days it might not be so high. You whisper in my ear, like I will hear like 25, I say, whoa, okay. And I'll hear something like 25 cents. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna discriminate against you. I might hear like, we already pay our tuition. Okay. So I rank them all. And assuming that she's perfect, she know what everybody would say, like, I know how much you would say to me, I'll charge you accordingly, then I get the most out of you. Because some of you put in more value. Some of you say, I don't care about this class, come on, it's so lousy, I don't understand a thing, and it's just what do they call it? Gen Ed, yeah. So, different values there. Okay, so assuming that she can charge each student the reservation price. Whoa, look at this. If she knew this is how much they were willing to pay, she would charge each and every single one of them according to the reservation price each is willing to pay. Then your total revenue becomes 40, 38, 36, 34, 32, 30. We stop at 30 because the same thing. Okay, total revenue you add up is 210 now. Whoa. So you do it a little bit different. Okay, total cost is still the same. Economic profit is now, 36. My goodness. This economic profit is greater than the other two approaches that we look at. And let's back up a little bit, okay? So if you charge according to reservation price, you still will get 6 students. You still will not get that. This one, let's see, how much is it? 29. You still will not get the, what happened? 40, 38, I think you get 6 students. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, because 29 or 30 is above 29, so you're still okay there. But here, the last two is not okay. So if you do it that way, we call that. I think that's price discrimination. Yeah, price discrimination. Okay, you get 6 students, but your profit is higher. according to this way. Okay, because you're actually charging according to total revenue instead of like the lowest price, like with, so then you have 36, 210 minus 174. Everybody okay with that so far? Question? Let's compare this. This is the best so far, right? The profit is the highest because you're charging according to their reservation price. You're not charging according to that lousy MC, which is only 29. And you're not charging according to see how many people you could get by looking at marginal revenue, marginal cost, which is that last column. And this is not the end of the story. So monopoly gets very interesting, I tell you. So someday if you become a monopoly, come back and thank me. I want to hear all your success story. Perfectly discriminating monopoly, you will charge exactly according to the reservation price. That is if you know, okay? So this is economic theory, so we say assuming you know. In that case, this is very important, put some stars on this slide. Economic surplus is actually maximized when you practice perfect price discrimination. The reason is because you turn all your consumer surplus into producer surplus. So remember, like in the past, we say, oh, your total economic surplus consists of, tell me again, consumer surplus plus producer surplus, right? Okay. In a typical case, you know that your consumer surplus is at upper triangle and your producer surplus is at lower triangle. Okay. So now, so your total economic surplus is that big piece of triangle that consists of two triangles, upper and lower. So, now, under monopoly, the producer surplus actually takes over the consumer surplus. Consumer surplus is actually zero. Let me see how I could explain this. And so all your total economic surplus consists of producer surplus. Yeah, well, let's do like that. So that's what happened. Okay, and what happened here is we say that get that last line. This is actually efficient. Okay, let's go back to that diagram you saw earlier, and I'll explain what that means. Okay, this one right here. Let's go back to this. Now, remember this is your dead weight loss, right? Now, if you could charge reservation price, so that means you could charge everybody up to the top here. So you actually, the whole, it's kind of hard to explain, let's see. So your producer surplus, which if for monopoly, right, if you have dead weight loss, your consumer surplus will be the price for the monopoly, which is up here, everybody. And your demand curve is here. So again, use our normal, remember our definition I gave you. The consumer surplus is the area, help me out here, below the demand curve and above the price line. So is that little triangle right there? Is the consumer surplus under monopoly. You can see that it's very small. I mean, smaller than under perfect competition. What about the producer surplus? Let's challenge our definition again. Go back to our definition. I don't mean to challenge it because it stays, you know. That would be producer surplus is the area below the price line and above the marginal cost or your supply curve. Okay, here it is, marginal cost of supply curve. Where is the price line? Be careful here. We're talking about monopoly, the price lines here. So in other words, this area right here, the trapezium, meaning this rectangle plus the triangle at the bottom, is your producer surplus under monopoly because it is below the price line but above the marginal cost. And of course, this is a loss area. We did this in the previous chapter, chapter 6. But under perfect price discrimination, because you're able to tell exactly what price everybody is willing to pay, So you capture everything. Okay, whatever that amount, yeah, that's 6, and then maybe 6.2, 6.1, 6.05, and then 5.99. You capture every single one of them all the way there. So in other words, a whole piece of triangle here becomes a producer surplus. If you could perfectly price discriminate. So let's go back to that. I think you can get the concept some. So we could, why am I doing this? This is so slow. Yeah, let's get back to this line here. Yeah. Okay, do you have an assignment due right after the spring break? If you do, I have a feeling it's about this. So this slide is very important. Okay, here it is. Your economic surplus is maximized like that because your consumer surplus is actually 0. You don't have consumer surplus because every single bit you have is being captured by the monopoly as producer surplus. They take over. Okay, so your economic surplus essentially is your producer surplus. Consists of only producer surplus and no consumer surplus. And that's actually considered efficient because you see how all the way I go back to, I don't want to go back there, but all the way I go back to that point where efficient solution is. So where the number 12 is. So you eliminate the whole triangle, the bad triangle or the dead weight loss. In other words, that is actually maximizing total economic surplus because you turn every single consumer surplus into nothing. Well, this is a theory, okay? So in other words, if I could charge you according to your reservation price, I'm maximizing my total economic surplus. I know in real world that's probably not possible, but in theory that is what we learn. There's a limit to this so-called PPD, perfect price discrimination. Seller does not know each buyer's reservation price. As I have mentioned a number of times, low price buyer could resell to other buyers at a higher price. Yeah, if you disguise yourself as an old guy, with white beard and white hair, gray hair, you buy a whole bunch of tickets. Oh yeah, I'm buying for my senior citizen Betty. There are 10 of them waiting in the bus. Just sell me 10 tickets, senior citizen discount. And you get all 10 senior discount tickets. You walk to the parking lot and you start reselling it to other people and make a little bit profit out of it. You know how much you pay, and then you can charge a price in between so you get profit. Now, if you could do that, then whoops, it doesn't work with this so-called perfect price discrimination. So resale would ruin the whole thing if you have ability to resell. Yeah, okay, so that's what it means here. The other method of price discrimination is used to solve this problem. So now we're introducing a new term called the Herder method of price discrimination. The word Herder means you have to cross a hurdle. Right? You have to jump the hurdle. How difficult it is. Do you experience it in your daily life? Yes, absolutely. Every time you buy a computer product, they get you. How? They say, oh, by the way, you're buying this computer, we got rebate. However, the rebate is not going to be automatically. When you check out, you have to fill out this form. Sounds familiar? You have to send it in, right? That is a hurdle because, how many people they get that way? A hurdle takes discipline because, if you buy it, you have to go home, you have to remember to fill out the form, you have to remember to photocopy your receipt, and guess what else? You have to find an envelope, a stamp. Can you write the address on the envelope and put everything in, seal it? That's not it. If you drop it, you forget all about it until the following year, it's no good. You have to remember to go to the post office and drop it in the right box in order for it to get there, and then they come back and say, yeah, you got rebate, $100. I missed a couple of them and was so mad. I bought a big monitor, it's like 5 years ago. And then I was moving my house, and the rebate is for $100. And then I realized it's like, oh, what, 2 days after the rebate, because they always give you deadline. And then I tried to send it in, hey, you can't do that because they look at your stamp. The stamp is 2 days after the deadline. So I said, well, we can't do it. I said, oh. So that's her methods of price discrimination, because how many of you actually could do that? How many of you actually have the discipline to follow through? And some of you might say, I don't have problem.
She does.
I know that. But some people do have problem because there's so many steps, You can screw up every way along the step. I don't know which step you screw up. You might drop it on the floor and then you kick it, it's like, oh, I don't know where it is, I couldn't find it. When you find it, it's too late. Okay, so these are called hurdle. When people ask you to fill up survey, how many of you actually fill up survey? Okay, you do very good. A lot of time people ask for something in return. You say, oh yeah, we got free candy. For taking up the time. This taking up the time is a big thing. I don't feel that because I don't want to take the time, period. So anyway, we better get to the end of this. Okay, so profit maximizing sellers goes to charge each buyer. Okay, we know that. The practice of offering a discount, okay, you have to overcome some obstacles. So that's what I'm talking about here. Time spent waiting, so that will be the followed by, the time taken to cutting the coupon. That takes time. How many of you cut the coupon and use it? Remember to bring it when you go to Foot Lion. Some of us don't, so you don't get it. A perfect hurdle is you are able to separate a buyer precisely according to their reservation price. So we got one more method. How much should Carla charge for editing if she uses a perfect hurdle? Okay, so we got one more coming. This is perfect price discrimination, perfect hurdle. Okay, assuming that now she offers a coupon. Wow. A rebate coupon, and student with at least a $36 reservation price never use a coupon. Say, we don't need it. You got high reservation price. Student with the reservation price below $36 would use a coupon. And if you go back to that table, which I'll show you shortly, she would get ABC because student C with reservation price is 36. So what happened now is opportunity cost stays the same, discount coupon is 4. If you practice this method, you get even more out of it. So this is what happened. Price discrimination with a perfect hurdle, okay? You actually divide the original market into 2 sub-markets. Wow, let's see how they make money. So ABC, the one who paid the list price, would say, we don't need coupon. So, they're okay, so we do the same thing. This is the same calculation you've seen so far, okay, from the original slide, 40, 36, 32, because you do the marginal revenue by getting it from total revenue. Now look at the second one. The other 5 students, what happened to them? And then we list the same thing, your reservation price, and look at this. This is now, well, this one still say, let's see, yeah, this is different now. This is calculated differently now. Because look at this. 34, you take 34 times 1 because you serve 1 student. And the next one, 32, you want to serve at least 2 students, so you multiply by 2 to get 64. Get it? So this calculation is a little bit different. Now that will be 30 times 3 equals to 90 because you're treating this second sub-market separately. And there's value for doing so. Last one, same thing. So you use the same method to calculate 2, but then you got 2 separate sub-market. And because of that, your marginal revenue becomes 34. So if you check from what you got before, this is higher. And this 64 minus 34, you get 30. What was the old number? Yeah, see, 28 and 24. Now you got much much higher number, 3430. If you could subdivide your customer that way, we call that price discrimination. According to age group, I don't know what else, according to income, according to whatever profile that you want to use. So because of that, okay, so now this is how you calculate it. Okay, your total revenue will be 3 times 36, and then for the first sub-market, the second sub-market is 2 times 32. How do we do that? Let's go back. 36 times 3, because you got 3. 32 times 2. And this one would, let's see, yeah. So, and you can only serve 2 because according to this method, if you go on further, you have $29. So this one is not okay. So you can only serve 2 because you're using MI equals to MC criterion here. Okay, so you got that. First sub-market, second sub-market. First one you charge 36 for the first 3 students, or the next 2 students you charge 32. You now have 172. Let's look at the total cost. Total cost will be the same because 3 students plus 2 students, it's 5 times 29, 145. Take the difference, now you got 27. So we serve 5 students, right? 3 plus 2. So this one you have 27. Okay, so let's take a look. The best is this one, but we say this is not, in practice, it's not possible, so this is like, oh, second best. At least we could do this. So that's what it means, and this is one more slide here, how to calculate economic surplus. So again, economic surplus is consumer surplus plus producer surplus. So we look at it, we say without discount, the first sub-market, the actual price you charge is 36. We already know that. What about consumer surplus? Consumer surplus is the difference between reservation price and the actual price you charge. So in this case, you got 4 from student A, 38 minus 36, you got 2, and then the last one you got 0. So $6 if you don't give any discount coupon is your consumer surplus. Now, so down here, your consumer surplus, well, hang on. Your producer surplus is calculated like that. 36 minus 29, so 21, like what we had before. So your total economic surplus is take that 6, look at the red one, concentrate on the red one. Consumer surplus 6 under the first market when you do not throw out discount. So that first method, single price monopoly. Plus 21, 21 is your producer surplus, so you get 27. Now this is not profit, everybody. This is your total economic surplus, which is consumer surplus plus producer surplus. We only do 2 calculations here. Over there we did 4, okay? And that's profit. Here we're looking at the total economic surplus. What about if you offer discount coupon? We know that we get 2 more, right? Student D and E. So in this case, 34 minus 32, this is how much you charge, you get $2. We should probably list the last one, but it doesn't matter because the last one, E, is 32 minus 32, which is 0. So 2, and if you add up the whole 2 sub-market together, the consumer surplus in yellow, focusing on all the yellow one, would be $8 consumer surplus. The producer surplus would be what you calculated originally, which is 21 plus $6 because you got 32 is the price you charge, and there are 2 of them minus 29. So you got 6 for your producer surplus, $6. So you add it up together, your producer surplus should be 27. Now, 27 is your producer surplus, $8 is your consumer surplus, so you get a higher total economic surplus. In other words, you eliminate more and more dead weight loss the minute that you offer hurdle methods of discrimination. This is a perfect hurdle of price discrimination. Okay, they're both forms of price discrimination, but this one is practical. This one is in theory. In theory, you can get 36 if you can act like your God, like you could detect everybody's reservation price. So some of the examples are, so here it is. Oh, it's time, yeah. Okay, so some of the examples are right here. in my last slide, so, yeah. So read out the chapters because it's time. I only have 3 more slides, but we have these 3. So, let's talk to some of you, yeah. If you think you have issue, talk to me. If not, because, I have to do this midterm grade, so I want to make sure everything is clear before you leave. Other than that, have a good spring.